السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and may Allah's peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam. First of all, I wanted to greet everybody with Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak to you and to your family and to the community. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those whose fasting, whose prayers, dua, and all good deeds are accepted during this month of Ramadan. I would have loved to be with you in person. The community at the Islamic Center of Santa Clarita Valley is a very dear community that I've loved working with over the years. Alhamdulillah, as CAIR, we've loved partnering with you. MashaAllah, very active community, very vibrant community. Inshallah, maybe after this crisis of COVID-19, we'll get the chance to meet again in person. I first wanted to share some great news with the community before we get with a quick reminder, inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillah ta'ala, as you know, CAIR Los Angeles has partnered with the Islamic Center of Santa Clarita Valley and several other mosques throughout Southern California in helping a project called the Mosque Security. Alhamdulillah, CAIR has dedicated a staff member who worked with many masajid and helped them apply for a grant provided by the CAL Office of Emergency Services, the CAL OES. And basically this grant provides places of worship, Muslims and otherwise, if they receive the grant, some funds to invest in the protection and the security of the congregation at the mosque. Alhamdulillah, so far, 5 of the masajid that we have worked with, including the Islamic Center of Santa Clarita Valley, has received the grant. We're awarded the grant, and the amount of the grant is $200,000. Alhamdulillah. $200,000. That's almost $250,000. Alhamdulillah, almost 5, as I said, 5 masajid have so far been awarded. So we are proud that over $1 million from our tax money has been returned now to the community to make sure that the congregation is safe when we use the places of worship. So congratulations to the masjid on a well-deserved grant, and I inshallah pray that you'll use it, put it at full beneficial use, and inshallah never have to use it in a sense, there's never an attack or anything. So you'll use it to increase the protection in ways that will preempt and prevent anyone from thinking about harming anyone at your masjid or any other place. Inshallah, may Allah keep us all safe. Alhamdulillah. What I wanted to talk about today is the topic of what can we do to be productive during Ramadan, and specifically as we are staying at home, or shelter in place as we call it, because of the COVID-19. It's so common for people to think that, well, one, it's Ramadan, we have to focus on Ramadan and nothing else, thinking or misunderstanding that Ramadan is also as a month of activism, but also because of COVID-19 and what it has led to people thinking, this is time for isolation. Initially they called it social isolation rather than social distancing, and then they changed the name. There's also a sense of helplessness or hopelessness, feeling of helplessness among the community because, overwhelmed by the impact of COVID-19 and how it separated us, took us away from our masajid and all of that. So first of all, maybe it's important to deal with it from a spiritual perspective, and then we'll talk a little bit about practicality. From a spiritual perspective, first of all, it's important to remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge of all things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who decides all matters. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Holy Quran, وَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُرْجَعُ الْأُمُورِ in Surah Al-Baqarah. And in Surah Al-Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ إِنَّ الْأَمْرَ كُلُّهُ لِلَّهِ. First one is, to Allah all matters belong. And in the second verse, say that this matter is or belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or completely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's how a believer is. A believer always trusts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge of all matters. And it's good because while Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a certain domain where we have a say in making options and decisions, there are certain domains where He said, this is exclusive to me. And it's good for us to know, despite our strength, our power, how much income we have, how many relationships networks, what kind of strength as a country, as a society, as individuals we have. There's a time when we know and we get humbled to know that even a little invisible virus could cripple the entire world population, not just Americans. And it's good for us to know, despite how hard it is and how sad it is, it's sometimes we need to be humbled and remember that we depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we have to put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is, and you know, and when we have that sense of trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we develop also an ability or immunity to stress, to anxiety, to sadness, to feeling of regret. Now, when you know that Allah is in charge, you don't come and say, well, I wish I did that, I should have done that. Alhamdulillah, you relax, you do what you have to do, humanely possible, you take the precautions that are necessary to protect yourself and your community and your loved ones. And then, alhamdulillah, you leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that takes away so much of the stress that a person develops when they're facing with these calamities, you know, whether it's COVID-19 or anything else that could happen. And we learned that from the Prophet, you know, when he fled Mecca, fleeing the persecution of Quraysh, and he was hiding in the cave with his beloved companion, friend, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, may Allah be pleased with him. And they're sitting in the cave, and Quraysh has sent people after them. Subhanallah, Abu Bakr was so worried. He said, look, if any of these people outside of the cave are to look at the place of their feet, they will see us and then they will harm you. He was worried about the Prophet. The Prophet assured him. He said, you know, مَا ظَنُّكَ بِاثْنَيْنِ اللَّهُ ثَالِثُهُمَا. What do you think will happen to two people who are with the company of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is their third? And the ayah in the Quran that described that situation that happened is when Allah described is إِذْ يَقُولُ لِصَاحِبِهِ لَا تَحْزَنْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَنَا فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَتَهُ عَلَيْهِ وَأَيَّدَهُ بِجُنُودٍ لَمْ تَرَوْهَا. And the rest of the verse, of course, well known. وَجَعَلَ كَلِمَةَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا هِيَ السُّفْلَى وَكَلِمَةُ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْعُلْيَا. And the point is, in the first part of the, when the Prophet ﷺ told his companion, Allah described, said, don't be afraid, don't worry, Allah is with us. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down his tranquility and his calmness upon him and supported him with soldiers and armies you did not expect, the angels, and everything was made, every instrument was made, every tool was made to come to the support of the Prophet ﷺ. So that's important for us to know, that this is the source of tranquility, so we can think. Because a person cannot plan to do things productively, proactively, unless they are relaxed at one point. And the other thing to remember is also to put things in perspective. No matter how difficult we think the situation is, the reality is, alhamdulillah, we're certainly blessed beyond ability to count Allah's blessings. Think about the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said, من أصبح منكم آمنا في سربه معافا في جسده عنده قوت يومه فكأنما حيزت له الدنيا. Whoever amongst you wakes up in the morning feeling secure with their family, feeling healthy with their body, and they have what they need of providence, sustenance, it's almost as if the whole world has come to their service, has come made available to them. SubhanAllah, because really, if you think about it, these three things are the biggest of blessings. And who among us, alhamdulillah, doesn't wake up today and feeling safe and secure about our loved ones, about our families? Alhamdulillah, we're healthy. Sickness, illness comes and goes, that's normal. But overall, alhamdulillah, we don't have anything major to complain about for the most part. And we have our sustenance beyond our need. You name it. You know, we fast throughout the day and it's time to break the fast. Alhamdulillah, we have the options. Others don't have that. There are people around the world who don't have that. So for us, let's put things in perspective. We are privileged. We are privileged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that requires thankfulness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's important to remember. And we are an ummah of activism, an ummah of action, an ummah of productivity until the last minute, as the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ says, in which he said, إِذَا قَامَتِ السَّاعَةُ وَفِي يَدِ أَحَدِكُمْ فَسِيلَةٌ فَلْيَغْرِسْهَا. He said, if the day of judgment happens at that moment, and one of you is holding a plant, a baby plant that they were planning to plant it in the soil, and if they get a chance to plant it before the day of judgment happens, then let them do it. Now, of course, we don't know for a fact it's the day of judgment or not, but the hadith meant is that never lose hope. Even if you think it is the day of judgment, don't lose hope and continue to be active, because that is how a Muslim and a believer is. And the other hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, المؤمن القوي خير وأحب إلى الله من المؤمن الضعيف وفي كل خير. He said, the strong believer, the one who can produce with action, is more beneficial and more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, than the weak believer. Although they're both are of benefit. The ones, how do we how can we be better to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? By being better serving to people, to his servants. And then the hadith continues and says, احرص على ما ينفعك واستعن بالله ولا تعجزن. And seek what brings benefit for you in this dunya and the akhirah, and rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in executing it, and never give up. Don't lose heart, don't lose faith. A believer never loses heart, continues to struggle and give until, alhamdulillah, Allah takes his amana, takes our lives. Some practical things that we can do during the month of Ramadan to make it productive. As I said, now that, alhamdulillah, we put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're calm, we're putting things in perspective, alhamdulillah, we are in much more better shape than anybody else. So much to celebrate, so much to enjoy, so much to be grateful for. Our families, our sustenance, our health, the security of our families and loved ones. We have a shelter to keep us safe, as opposed to many others who don't. First, start by dhikr, by using the month to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Seeking his forgiveness, making tawbah. We all have shortcomings. كل بني آدم خطاء, كل بني آدم خطاء, right? وخير الخطائين التوابون. Every child, every son of Adam, every human being is a sinner, is someone who continuously commits it. But the most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the best of these sinners, are the ones who make repentance, seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So take advantage of the month and do that. Of course, Taraweeh. While we cannot be at the masjid to do Taraweeh, who said you cannot do it at home? Salatul Qiyam, Salatul Tahajjud, these are all prayers that were done initially at home. We learn from the surah of the Quran, the chapters in the Quran, how the Prophet, the description of the prayers had always been with the Prophet praying by himself. So the Taraweeh came in as more like additives, as enhancement to help us, because sometimes people at home, they get lazy. When they go to the masjid, they get encouraged, so surrounded by the community. But you can now do it at home. If Allah closed certain options for us out there, he opened so many options for us indoor with the family. So enjoy that and make use of this time to reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the month of generosity also. The month of Ramadan is the month when the Prophet ﷺ was most generous, as it was described in several ahadith. In one of the ahadith narrated by Ibn Abbas, كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أجود الناس وكان أجود ما يكون في رمضان. The Prophet ﷺ was one of the most generous. Actually, he said he was the most generous of people I've ever met. And he was even more generous during the month of Ramadan. So be generous to your masjid, to your organization, to those who have been impacted by COVID-19. We need to make sure we support those in need everywhere, not just around us. People who are in need around us, but also we need to support the organizations. We cannot allow us to be distracted, allow ourselves to be distracted, and then wake up. Alhamdulillah, once COVID-19 is over, we're going to look and where are our institutions? Where is our masjid? Where are our schools? Where is CAIR? Where is MSA? Alhamdulillah, we need them to be there, and we're going to continue to support all of them, because this is how we protect our rights. Specifically, can you imagine if CAIR does not have the resources to defend our rights? And those who are facing discrimination now, Islamophobia, people who are stranded overseas. We have cases of people who are facing deportation to be sent back to Myanmar or to China. Alhamdulillah, they can come to CAIR and get help with asylum cases. Our youth are being empowered as we speak. We can't put everything on hold, my dear brothers and sisters. We have amounts that we can give. Alhamdulillah, we can decide how to support all these causes, including those who are in need around the world. People who are refugees, who don't have the same privileges that we have. So make sure you look at that and look at things comprehensively. So alhamdulillah, so we can carry the affairs and the needs of the ummah comprehensively, not just focus on every emergency that happens that distracts us from everything else, because life is filled with emergencies. That's how it is. The other way to be productive is schedule your day in a normal way. Wake up in the morning, be professional, dress up for work. Even if you're not going to work outside, you can still work inside. Even if you're on hold now for work, find things to keep you busy. There are so many ways that can make your life productive and professional even during the day. But the way it works is you have to wake up early and plan it. Plan your day. Plan what you're planning on doing, what you're going to achieve, to make sure that every day is productive. Use the time to reading Quran in the month of Ramadan, of course, but also if you have other things to catch up with, alhamdulillah, this is a good time to increase our knowledge. Don't lose, we have a lot of time during the day, and this is a good way, inshallah, reading the Quran and other material that, inshallah, will benefit you in the dunya and the akhirah. Use the time to check on loved ones, friends, people who you haven't connected with for a while, relatives, aunties, uncles, nephews, nieces. Make a schedule. Say every day I'm going to call 2 or 3 of them and check on them. Alhamdulillah, being at home now gives us more free time and be able to do that. Also, we have a civic responsibility. While we're stranded at home or quarantined or sheltering at home, it doesn't mean we cannot be productive and active in ways that help in the lives of other people. CAIR and other organizations, CAIR specifically has launched an advocacy week. Every week we have one cause that we push for, a cause that by you calling in your member of Congress, the White House, or a state assembly person, you can help alleviate some of the suffering and the pain on others and of others. Whether it's refugees, whether it's immigrants who are being denied rights, whether it's migrants at our border, whether it's people who are, in China, our Uyghur brothers and sisters being abused, Kashmir brothers and sisters, people in India, Muslims in India, Palestine, Syria, in Libya, in Egypt, so many places where people are suffering. Your action can make a difference. So you can receive this action from CAIR. It takes you 2, 3, 4 minutes at most, but it can make a difference and a dent in their lives. There are so many things we can do to remain active as a community, especially during the month of Ramadan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who fully benefit from the month of Ramadan, spiritually, in every way, other way. Alhamdulillah, the month of Ramadan is the month of striving for justice, the month of doing good and getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and nothing gets us closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than taking care of our ibadah and taking care of the needs of other people. Right? حب الناس إلى الله أنفعهم. الخلق عيال الله وأحبهم إلى الله أنفعهم لعياله أو لخلقه أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. So all the people are Allah's dependents, and the most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala among them are the ones who are most beneficial to his dependents. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among these people who benefit themselves and others in ways that please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Allah to accept from all of us our fasting, our prayers, our dua, and all of our good deeds. Don't forget to continue to support your organizations. CAIR, the masjid, depend on you, our relief organizations, the needy around us. Alhamdulillah, all of them deserve our support, from zakat, from sadaqah, and all of the ways and the means we can, inshallah. And again, congratulations to the community on receiving the grants. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us, inshallah, put us in use in the service of his deen, of people, and our ummah. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.